Alright, so welcome. Today I'll be doing a new technique with sand art. It's maybe a technique that no one's done before, I don't know. But it's kind of fun, and so what I decided to do was change the medium. Usually I use cardboard, and it's cardboard that I rescue from cereal boxes that I'm throwing away, and I just scavenge through my recycling bin. And today what I'll be using is a rescued piece of projector paper. So this right over here. And the plastic is on what I will put with sand art. So let's get started. Alright, so the first thing I'll do, I've got the plastic over here and I've anchored it down with a tuning fork and a compass. And I'm just going to put some glue right here. Just a nice layer of it. And this is more of an experimental piece, so I'm not going to do a very large canvas initially. I'm going to go for a circular creation today, and you'll see later on why I do that. Let's just put a little bit more. For this one, it's particularly important to make sure that your glue is distributed in a very uniform and smooth manner. There really should not be any sort of continuities. And even these lighter shaded areas, I don't know if you can see it in the camera, should really sort of be smoothed away. It should be as calm and uniform as really possible. Right now this is almost looking like pancake batter. I'm just spreading slowly, and like syrup, I will be sprinkling sand over this art and see what happens from there. So first I'll use just some leftover sand because this is the experimental phase, so it doesn't really matter what I use. So I'm just going to load it right here. Okay. I'm just going to go for like a circular ring design. This will be the outer edge, and as you can see, it's a mixture of mostly reds and Cape Cod white. But you've got a small burst of yellow inside there too. Okay, and now I'll try for some solid colors just to see what they look like. So I'll get a little bit of red. Sometimes it can get jammed, and so I'll use this tool to just sort of unjam it. Beautiful sort of blood red all around there. Then I'll use just some Cape Cod sand just to see what that looks like once this is done. And the idea is that since this is being placed on a transparent medium, I'll be able to shine light through it. And so I'm trying different colors and different types of sand to see what their effect is when light goes through it. Of course, once this dries, you'll discover a really cool surprise. And finally, the center of it, sort of the heart and soul, will be actual soil from the earth in my backyard. There we go. It. Alright, let's uncover this and see what we get. And so you can see the magic already. This piece of sand has separated from the plastic right over here. And so now what I have essentially is just sand and glue, and there's no medium. This has sort of like a soul raising up from its body. This is now just pure sand art with nothing behind it, And that makes this actually quite extraordinary, and I'll show you the different applications that you can do with it. So you can see this is the final product right over here. And, you know, it is kind of extraordinary because, as I said before, it sort of transcends the medium that holds it. In my previous sand arts that I've had, like this one over here, you can see that it is fettered, it is grounded to the backing, which is this cardboard backing. But in contrast, this is able to escape that. It doesn't have cardboard behind it, it doesn't have styrofoam behind it. It's just itself, pure, unadulterated sand art. And that, in a sense, is pretty extraordinary, I think. Because what it allows you to do then is transfer it from one medium to another. Almost like a soul, it can, you know, go from one form to another, and every time it sort of transforms like that, it acquires a new property. So you could, for example, use it as body art, and you could really easily integrate it into your skin, which I think is really cool. Alternatively, you could put it on, you know, you have some sand art, and bam, you could just sort of put it on there, and that's really cool too. But it also sort of has, in that sense, a metaphorical resemblance to biology, to the idea that there are variations upon a theme, so that, you know, this is the theme, and then based on whatever you put on the back of it, that will be the variation on the theme. But I'll also show you what makes this really kind of neat. And this is just, you know, this is just a test pattern, but you could create some really neat stuff. Is that you could put this, you could decorate and make a lampshade out of it so that light will actually pass through it, and that will look beautiful, and I'll show you that in a second. Or you could decorate portions of a window with it so that when the sun comes through it, it has to go through this medium, and that's pretty cool. So here it is in front of a light, and you can see that the red becomes this brilliant magma red. And you can also see the outer edges, which were those waste sand, the sort of noisy sand that I had, has a very interesting brilliance to it, because now it has different colors in it. And even the earth that I had has these different, you know, light and dark areas, almost like the rings of Saturn or the hurricane inside Jupiter. It looks pretty cool. And here's how it looks like on my window. It looks like a little ember of summer that is beginning to grow in its fire-like size as the months go by. But it's a really nice addition, especially if I made this into a, you know, much better looking design. It's sort of matching the autumn colors in the background right over there.